In this presentation, let's look into the LDAP injection. Before getting to know about LDAP injection, let's have a small brief about LDAP. LDAP is generally abbreviated as Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. It is used to access and update information in a directory which is built on the X500 model. It includes the operations used to establish and disconnect a session from the server. So coming to the LDAP injection. LDAP injection is an injection-based attack similar to SQL injection, wherein the attack is based to exploit the web application that constructs LDAP statements that are based on user input. The LDAP injection generally occurs when there is a faulty input sanitization, which an attacker could use to modify the LDAP statements using local proxy, hence leading to execution of arbitrary commands. So now let's look in pictorially about the LDAP injection. So in the first part of the picture, we could see a normal LDAP operation that is being carried out. From the client to the LDAP server, we see a normal query that is being going, and in return the client receives a normal result. But then in the operation done with the LDAP injection, we could see that from the client to the LDAP server there is a normal query plus the malicious code that is being sent over, and in result the client receives the normal result and or the additional result that is the result of the malicious request that was made to the LDAP server. So let's have a look into an example vulnerable code here. In the PHP section, we could see there is an LDAP search, so wherein the value of the user ID is being taken via the get parameter here, and we could see that a request that has been sent by an attacker is as shown, that is the www.site.com/user.php, and the user ID parameter is equals to whatever the user ID he gets. So this is basically a search function on the LDAP using the LDAP, but then an attacker could probably put in his own LDAP queries if this is vulnerable to LDAP injection. So in this case, he tries to put in the star that would list out all the LDAP entries that is being made. So what would be the impact of this LDAP injection attack? The impact of this attack generally depends on the vulnerable application and its functionality. It is possible for an attacker to gain access to sensitive information and further modify or delete the data, or he could go ahead and even could perform privilege escalation. The mitigations or the defenses for the LDAP injection would be: the proper input validation must be implemented at the front-end application, and the proper input sanitization is also important and should be implemented, and the using of regular expressions by developers would be a better option to validate untrusted input. Then appropriate permissions on user objects should be set. Then disabling the anonymous access to the directory objects, and filtering of the data that is going out is also an important mitigation step that could be taken. Then implementation of proper access control mechanism on data that is within the LDAP directory.